Alrighty, let's add more data to our state. So for one, I want, every time we click on add to cart, I want to display a number up here. So the total quantities of the products that we have in our cart. So that's going to be a little span up there. So super simple. It's going to go, let's go here. What is this mess? Let's close everything up, start clean. We'll go over to our context. Okay. And let's go to the top here where we have all of our state. And we are gonna set a new one here saying total quantities and set total quantities. Okay, there we go. That's it. Is equal to use state. And by default, we are gonna have it at 0, right? So no items in the cart. And thankfully, we can kind of keep this simple and just add the total quantities whenever we add a product to the cart or remove a product from the cart. That's the only time we're going to update total quantity. So it just makes sense to do it in here. So let's go in the on add and we'll say increase total quantity. I cannot write properly. That's fine. Is that correct? I think so. So we're going to say, hey, set the total quantities to whatever the previous total was. Okay, you can name this anything you want again. And just say previous total plus quantity, because we're passing down the quantity in here. That's it. That's all we need to do. And we can copy this over these two lines, and we can head over to unremove. And then here, we're just going to say, oh, we said increase. Let's do increase. There we go. Here we can say decrease like that, total quantity. So here we just want to say, yeah, not quantity. We'll just say -1. And that's that. So now we can head over to where we want to display this information. So in this case, it's going to be in our nav. Let's head over to our nav and let's import this total quantities. And let's make sure we also pass it down here, because we are not actually. So total quantities, let's make sure it's available for us to pull it out. Okay, total quantities in there. Lovely. So what I can do is just go here and say total quantities. Hey, if this is bigger than 0, then I want you to render out a span for me. So do a span like that, and that's gonna tell us the total quantities, okay? And that's it. So as you can see, there's nothing there, but when I click, it says 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and then if I add more here, like 5, boom, 9, 14, so that's perfect. Let's see if I remove a couple here, do 5, yeah, there we go. So it's 6 now. Works perfectly fine. Last thing I want to do is also update this so it looks nice, because that's not pretty at all. So we can head over to our nav items, so we can click on there, or just head over to our nav styles in here. Okay, so let's see how we are gonna do this. Oh yeah, I said that we're gonna do span in here in the nav item. So let's just get the span. We'll do a background of FF2626. Okay. So there we go. It's a nice red color. The actual color of the text should be white. The width, let's make it 1.2 rem or 1.3 rem. And the height should be 1.3 rem. There it is. I just want to align it to the middle. So we can do display flex, justify content center, align items center. That's an easy, quick way to put that in the middle. I want to make it round, so we can just use border radius of 50%. There we go, nice and round. Maybe a smaller font size, 0.75 rem. Just like that, that's quite cool. And then I can add a position absolute to this and move it wherever I want. I'll do minus 10% and top minus 20%. I think that looks pretty cool. Just right there in the corner. And the reason why this works is because I added a position relative to the nav items. So as you can see here, the div has a position relative, so it's automatically gonna align it based on this little div in here. Where is the little div? This little div here, as you can see. So it's minus 10 from this little div. Okay, cool. And I'm gonna add a pointer event of none to it. And why am I doing that? Well, if I click on this span, maybe it's a bit harder to do, but I don't want this to be clickable at all because I might click on this accidentally and it's not going to open up the cart for me. So just to be safe, I'm going to add a pointer events of none, and then I make sure every time I click here, it's going to go to the cart. Cool. And yeah, that should be it pretty much. It works perfectly fine. So next up, what I want to do is start adding some animations to this, make this website really cool. Oh, also, let's add like a total in here to display like, oh, well, how much are these in total? Because it's hard to tell. And let's also add a $sign to this. So we can go over to our cart, and here where we have our total price, let's add a $sign here. Is it at the end here? I think like that. There we go, $19, $79, perfect. And then here, let's go down and, so let's do it at the end here, right above the cart style. Let's do, if the cart item's length is bigger or equal to 1, and let's make a new div in here. So if there's an item in the cart, let's add a H3 that's a subtotal for us. $sign again. And I want to do a total price here somehow. Let's just keep it like that for now. And also below this, let's also have a button that says purchase. Okay, we're making quite a bit of progress now. So let's take a look. There we go, subtotal and a purchase button. Lovely. So let's add a little function here in our context to also keep track of the total amount that we have in our cart. So let's go here. It's going to be just as simple as the other one. We're going to say total price and set total price. And by default, that's going to be 0 as well. Okay, how do we do this? So let's go here. We're increasing the quantity, but let's also increase the total price. Oh, there we go. So we're gonna say set total price, and we're gonna get the previous price total, and we're gonna say previous total plus product price. So I'm gonna access the actual product, the price of it, and I'm gonna multiply it based on how many quantity they picked. If they picked 5, then 5 times whatever that product's price is. And yeah, again, that's it. It's just like one line of code. And then down here on remove, we can do the same thing. But the only difference is we are gonna say, we're gonna clean this up a bit more. And I just wanna take from the total, and I'm gonna say minus product price, right? I'm just gonna remove 1 off the total. And that's it. So we can head down here. We can pass down the total price, just like that. And where do I want to display this? I want this to be displayed in the cart here, right? And the subtotal. So we can go over to our cart. In the subtotal here, I want to make sure to get this information, total price, and I want to output it right here. I'll add a $sign as well. Let's hit save and let's take a look, and look at that. Is that correct? Let's take a look. Let's pick something that has 25. This is easy to see. So 25, increase this. Boop, 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 boop. Yep, works perfectly fine. Let's add something else. And look at that. Total price works perfectly. Cool. Let's also style this button up a little bit, and then we are good to go. So let's make another little style function here in the cart styles. Let's go to cart styles. I'm going to say export const checkout. This is going to be a style div. And in here, I'm just going to have the button. It's going to have the background of var primary, a bit of padding to it of 1 rem, 2 rem. I'm going to make the width full screen, so 100%. Color is going to be white. I'm going to add a bit of margin to it, 2 rem, and the cursor is going to be pointer. Let's import this, copy it. Let's go over to our cart. Go to the top, right here, below the empty style, and then go down here and replace this with a checkout and hit save. And there we go. That's it. Something's off here a little bit. Just the way this is all aligned. Okay, so the margin here, we don't want that. Let's just do margin top. So it's all nicely aligned. There we go. That's much better. There we go. That's pretty cool. We have, and let's, I think it has a border on it. Border none. Yes, there we go. Nice and clean now. Lovely. So there we go. Everything is nice and functional. And I think we added an overflow of scroll to it. So if we have a bunch of items, as you can see, the scroll gets enabled here, which is really cool. Perfect. All right, you ready for some animations? Because that's going to be the best part of this. Let's get to it.